Hey everybody, it's Chris Marshall of the Payne Street Team, brought to you by Payne Auto Group Valley-wide and PayneAutoGroup.com. It's time for another edition of Payne Auto Talk. And this time we are at Payne Edinburg Chrysler-Dodge-Jeep-Ram again with Tony Flores and also Mr. Arnold Burkholder. And we're going off diving into everything Jeep. Oh yeah, mainly we're talking about the financial part of it with leasing. Why? Payne Edinburg CDJR is the #1 Jeep store in the Lone Star State of Texas when it comes to leasing. They're going to tell you about leasing, what it involves, what the factory has to offer, and also we dive off into different kinds of Jeeps and also the kind of Jeeps that have the options you're looking for and that also meet the financial criteria that you desire. It is totally awesome. Tony and Arnold, you can hear their passion for it, and they are all about Jeep. Yes, they have Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, but of course, Jeep is that wonderful, beautiful, differently wired subculture of Americana, and they prove it right here in this episode. So guess what? We're going to get after it. I hope you enjoy it. I sure enjoyed being with both Tony and Arnold on this, and we hope to hear from them in the future. All right, let's get after it. This week, we find ourselves at the #1 commercial lease store in the Lone Star State of Texas. I am at Payne Edinburg Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram. I am here with Mr. Tony Flores, the general manager of the store, the tip of the spear, and next to him is Mr. Arnold Burkholder. And Arnold, you're the newbie of the shop, or to the show, I should say.
Yep.
So we're going to start with you. I know you are a busy man. This is about Jeep and about leases. We're jumping right in. I mean, the water is warm. Here we go. Leases, I know the three things is you get a better payment, you get a better term, and also you're always under warranty. Y'all are #1 in the state when it comes to Jeeps and leases. Talk to me about it. Go.
So one of the biggest things that helps out a lot on leases too is the financials of it too. So yes, you do get the big benefits, lower payments, always in warranty. But another thing too is like financially. So if you really think about it, when you're trying to get a higher end vehicle or upgrade your vehicles, usually payment goes up, or especially the way this economy is when they're raising basis points, continuously throughout a couple months. So when you do a lease or a purchase, you have to finance the full amount. And the banks are saying like, hey, you know what? It's a little too much. We don't feel comfortable. It kind of happens sometimes. When you do a leasing, you're only financing a portion of the vehicle. Okay.
And I know there's something called DTI. What's that?
So DTI is debt to income.
Debt to income.
Correct.
Okay.
So, for example, instead of financing, X amount, you're only financing, half the amount, to give you an example purpose of that. So when the banks see that, they're like, oh, okay, I'm within reason. I'm within, where you've been before. I feel more comfortable, even though you get to drive off, on a more expensive or a higher end unit. Okay. So it helps along with that.
Okay, like higher end units, this is not your average grocery getter. Now, I know we recently did a video here. Shout out to Gabriel Trevino with Payne Digital. We did a video on the Ram TRX.
Correct.
Now, since Payne Auto Group has many different brands, franchises, I know that people know what the Ford Raptor is, but Ram, they answered back with the TRX or the T-Rex.
Correct.
And there was not just one here, there was a couple here.
Correct.
And they are gone.
Yep.
So is one of those high-end lease?
Actually, I think out of all of them, we only did one purchase.
It was just one?
The rest were leasing.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, and that one turned up on somebody's business. They had to have it for their business.
Yeah. Well, it was supposed to be like, hey, I really liked it. And then they saw the truck here and they're like, you know what can I do to get into it? So when we were thinking about it, because he wanted to get one for the missus, because the missus wanted one too.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, it was kind of...
The goose and the gander.
Like, you get one, but I'm getting one too, But let's just say this. So, like, for example, both of the units in this particular case, they were both high-end units.
Okay.
So they're basing off of their proof, their history, we had one unit that they can, was within comps.
Okay.
So what we decided to do is, like, when you do a leasing, if you have a company, it's also helps for taxes. It's a tax benefit.
Oh, like a write-off.
A write-off.
Oh,
100% of the payment for the next 4 years.
100% of the payments for the next 4 years.
So when we talked to him, he told us what he did. I said, look, I can put it under your business and you can be the guarantor to it, and you can develop your business credit, you can write it off, and you can still have all the amenities, all the benefits. And then, of course, we partner up with our business link center that we have here.
I got you.
So it's kind of, he's getting all these benefits for coming just, to get a vehicle. Wow. And then that allowed him and freed him up to help the missus.
Wow.
And let me tell you something else, Chris. By him putting it under his company, he's not only, like Arnold said, developing his company credit history, but also, since he's just a guarantor, he doesn't go on his private credit. It's just going to stay on the company.
On the business, yeah.
So his private stuff is away from business. The only way that he can get in trouble if the company doesn't pay the monthly note. But regardless of that, once he does that, his company is gonna create established credit history, and it's gonna help him in the future if later on, not only for vehicles. There's a lot of corporations that give credit, right? For materials and infrastructure and machinery,
for your brick and mortar
and equipment.
Wow.
So they can see your company's credit bureau and determine, like an entity, being an entity, how good it is paying, and they can determine that you can get it helps 100% to a bit if you have a business. If you're a business owner, it's going to tremendously help you to do that.
No matter if you're a corporation or a mom and pop.
It could be an LLC as long as it's just an active and registered business.
That is awesome.
Going back to what Tony was saying on that, what helps, and going back to the DTI, which is debt to income. So yes, he has both vehicles, but if he's ever wanting to buy a house or do anything else, he only has one car in his name.
Only is on the bureau with the one that they buy privately for the wife. The one he bought on the company won't show on his credit, on his personal credit bureau.
Wow. So this is fascinating information, and this is what makes y'all number one in the state. And I know that leasing, I know some people are kind of, I'll say the word skittish about it because they don't understand it. But y'all doing, how many, y'all done what, 80 something
we
this
did
month?
88 last month.
That's the most we ever done. We did more than in retail. We did more leases than some dealerships around here sold cars retail.
That's a normal sale is retail, and a lease is a lease.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It comes the same for Chrysler, but when you make the math, we did 88 leases. That's most of any of our competitors around us. That's some of them. This is the total sales. There's 0 leases done from competitors that we have. We don't want you to risk it. We want you to come over and see us because I have the experts here. My team developed the program, and we make it work. We adjust everything so it's a smooth process for the consumer. And also, you want to make sure that all the paperwork is correct because it's a little bit different. It's not complicated. Everybody likes to say it's complicated. It's just different. When you're doing something new, it's a challenge, right, Arnold? Yeah. You gotta put your 100% and believe in it. We believe on that.
It's unknown waters for some people.
Yes, exactly, unknown waters. So we got into the program. Yes, we made many mistakes at the beginning, right? It took us 3 months to figure it out, but we had the first of all the brains to put it together, the patience to put it together, and then the auto group providers with the tools we need them. All the adjustments we need to do, all the adjustments with the banks. And Chris, I'm very proud to say that we not only do leases with only one bank, we actually have 4 institutions that can help you lease a vehicle with in our location. And the Payne Auto Group is very wide.
Yeah,
but we're the only ones that they have this ability of doing leases. So you can come in here, and you have my word, you got my promise that my staff is being trained daily by this man, by our GSM that is up to date, Adrian Gonzalez and Helio Abrego, Enrique. That tower, sir, They're going to make sure that you walk out of here happy, you find the vehicle you like, you don't have any questions about anything involving your financing, your leasing if you lease, the equipment of the car, the features on the vehicles, because we do the complete circle, Chris. We not only show you what a lease is and explain you and educate you on what a lease is, we can also sell it to you. We can also contract you on a lease, and when the delivery comes around, the delivery specialist does everything for you right here in location, which I don't think a lot of competitors have that, but that's a great benefit for the customer, because just in case the salesman missed any feature or he missed to explain something, at the time of delivery, we got a great person. Joaquin has been keeping our CSI. That's another thing that they want to talk about. CSI is key, customer service. Mm-hmm. So our customer service is top tier for the past 3 months. We're on the top notch. We actually got a little award coming for being top on CSI. That means my guys are doing the correct. They're taking care of the customer. They're listening to them. And what Joaquin does, he does the final inspection. He makes sure your car doesn't have any lights on, any low tire pressure. He makes sure the battery. Look, these things, you may not hear about them because nobody does it, but we do. Mm-hmm. He makes sure your battery is fully charged. He pulls a gauge and reader, mm-hmm. and he pulls the reader of the battery. If the battery needs a little charge, he has his own 3-year charge. He plugs it on the car, lets him sit in there for 5 minutes. It recharges back to where it's supposed to be. He makes sure that you don't have any lights on the dashboard on the car on.
Warning lights, yeah.
Yeah, and this is going to sound weird. We pod the vehicle. We have a pod.
Okay.
Remember the iPods?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a pod that plugs in. It's like the port of entry to the computers of the car.
I got you.
So when Joaquin pods the vehicle, he's gonna bring all the information from the Chrysler website to let us know if it's got any wrinkles. If he's missing anything from their end, mm-hmm. Joaquin is gonna receive it right there in front of him on his iPad.
Like any update to, let's say, the Uconnect on the nav or anything like that.
And at that moment, if we haven't done it, because we're very good at it, we have a very good service department that watches over that. It's very rare he finds a wrinkle that we haven't done, but I just have to mention it. Right away, he's like, hey, this car I can deliver. You guys need to perform this wrinkle. Sometimes it's a software issue. We take care of it right away. And then you enjoy your vehicle 100%, knowing all the features, knowing the vehicle is right. Then you can drive it home and have that peace of mind. Joaquin also checks if there's a little crack in the windshield. You don't want to take your car with a cracked windshield.
That's right.
He checks if it has a little scratch, a little dent, anything that may have happened here on the lot. Joaquin walks the vehicle with the customer. He has this delivery check sheet. He notes everything that is wrong with the car. If he finds any defects, and we make sure we corrected it right away. He comes and tells us, and we contact the customer right away. And he's working pretty good. That's what the CSI is where it's at.
So Joaquin is the shepherd. Before it leaves the lot, every recall, if any.
Cleanliness, floor mats.
Yeah, floor mats.
2 tires.
Thing,
make sure it has the 2 keys. The manual book. The phone is plugged to the CarPlay. The customer knows how to operate. Yeah, he'll do it for you. He'll show you how to operate it, your iTunes, how to answer phone calls without losing the steering wheel.
Yeah.
How to make him CarPlay send text messages for you without. Yeah. I mean, it's safety things that we consider they're so important right now. How people uses more and more of the phone in the car, and it's getting a little dangerous, but it's a good tool to have. And if I feel like a lot of dealerships don't explain to the customer what really the CarPlay does, but it's a great tool. But Joaquin takes care of all that here at the store, and when you leave this place, you know exactly what your car is capable of doing.
And that's customer service indeed. Mm-hmm. And especially with safety. You said safety. And I know we have the I-69 construction here with the interchange, so I know that is very important. And that's the final part. But if we rewind the tape and come back, like with Jeep, that is where it's at right now. Mm-hmm. And you mentioned before, we were talking beforehand, that when it comes down to discounts and rebates, like with 4xe, that's Jeep's hybrid, and that's available on Wrangler and I believe Grand Cherokee, correct?
Yes, and Arnold can give you all the breakdown. That's a beautiful offer they have on those 4xe that everybody should be thinking about it. It's a hybrid car. It's not 100% electric, mm-hmm. but it's half and half. Don't worry, you're not going to get stranded. It's got a 2.0 gas engine. Mm-hmm. If your batteries run out, the gas engine kicks in. As long as you have gas on the tank, you're going to be
right.
okay.
Yeah, it'll be self-charging.
And now, one thing I noticed, and I've done some walk-around videos and with the hybrid stuff, the 4xEs. Now, first thing is it has blue tow hooks. That's easy to identify.
Correct.
And the badging is outlined in blue. So that's cool. Now, of course, a 2-liter engine, and it is hybrid. It is electric. Now, is it Grand Cherokee or is it the Wrangler that's the more popular selling one?
I think, honestly, we sold out of our Wranglers first before we did the Grand Cherokees.
Now, and now Jeep people, they are their own breed.
Yeah.
They're it's not that they're weird. It's just they're
very loyal.
They know what they like.
Yeah. They're like Volkswagen customers. They really research their stuff. You know, Payne Mission, Volkswagen, and Brownsville have it going on. And with Jeep people, like, y'all get them factory tuned from the factory, but y'all can still accessorize. And I believe the warranty is not voided. Is my correct?
Correct.
All right, cool.
The Jeep Wrangler has 114 different configurations. You can order it.
114 configurations.
So it's a little bit of a hard work to order them, but I think we do it right.
I don't think Barbie has that many accessories. Then again, I was a G.I. Joe guy. I will say this. With 4xE, that's been like your popular lease right there. I know being a hybrid, there are government rebates and incentives because electric thing.
Correct.
Now, tell me about this, because this is the hybrid thing. I'm kind of fuzzy on. But what do we got?
So the way the hybrid system works is that you have two dual power sources.
Okay.
So if you're going uphill, you need a little bit more juice, you're using gas, the hybrid system kind of kicks in and gives it extra power, a little bit extra push. So think of it like, if you're going to pull a car, is it easier with one person or two people? So that's what's the idea of it. Now, the way the hybrid system works is that, let's just say you're slowing down, you're stopping, or you're idling, the engine has to kick on. There's an extra alternator within there, and it will help self-regenerate.
Okay.
So can you plug it in? Yes, but you do have that as well, and it does it by itself.
Awesome.
Now, going back to the government help, yes. So if you wanted to do on a lease, like, you get 4 or 5 times more the help on a discount or help or rebate, however you want to look at it, or hey, I'm trading something in and I'm a little upside down because of what was happening in the past with COVID during that market time, and how everything's re-regulating here. So yes, it does have a big help, especially like, hey, I can't do this big car, they cut my hours still, however the case may be, and it does help out quite a bit.
That's awesome. And when you say upside down, for those I know we have a younger audience now. Being upside down means, let's say you have a vehicle and you trade it in, and it's something that you owned before, and now the amount of money you owe
is greater than what it's worth. So
greater than the current value of the vehicle.
Correct. So we have a lot of clients that during the COVID time, they've made 5, 6, 8 payments on their vehicle. Barely started working in on that purchase on the conventional contracting. And then now they have to trade it because, say, unforeseen circumstance. Okay. And the thing is like, they haven't had it long enough to be okay to trade out without having to have a big unpaid balance at the end. So that offsets all of that.
And that's what being upside down is. Correct. But now with this lease option, that kind of helps clear it up, does it not?
Correct.
Yes. A lot of times, Grace, people does the same we're preaching, but they try to do it in retail, and we want to tell them something to that people. They like to finance 84, 72 months, and they always upside down, right? There's a better option. Yeah. Shorter term, lower payments.
And you still have the option to trade out within 1 to 48 months. You're not locked in. Your 3 best options on the lease is you can always buy it at any time between 1 to 48.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that, but keep going.
You can sell the vehicle. Like, hey, my mom wants a car, my wife wants a car, or my daughter wants a car, my business needs a car now. Yeah. You could always refinance it into that entity or person, and then you could always trade out too. So think of it like this. If I was to do an 84-month contract because rates are going, higher and higher and higher, and I have to do it for affordability reasons, but I need to trade out of it in a year, technically speaking, you did an 84-month lease. Yeah. Because you've only did 1 year's worth of payment, so you only have 1 year ownership of the car, while the other 7 years it's bank. And so owned by the bank.
That's what we say that they do it. They're doing it already, but with the most expensive the most expensive way available, which is going the longer term. Now, we have a lot of customers, Chris, and this is perfectly legal. There's nothing that we're doing that is wrong. I'm going to go with what Arnold just mentioned. You can buy out your lease. We have customers that came from other dealerships because they see the incentives. They said, hey, but I never lease. I still want to buy it. So, well, you still can buy it. What do you mean? Well, you can still buy it. You can do your leasing, drive the car, enjoy the payment. When you're ready to buy it, all you have to do is come see us, because if you lease with us, Chris, we can offer the refinancing. We have the banks available.
Yeah, and I didn't even know you could buy out a lease.
Yeah, you can come. It's perfectly legal. Any lease you can buy it out, depending on the brand. But most of our banks, the banks we use, they will allow you to buy your lease back. And we can do that process for you. You can come in here, and if you already have 45,000 miles, guess what? We can refinance it for you. We can put an extended warranty on it,
which is always fun.
We can
great.
Yeah, we can do a safety inspection before we sell you the car back to you. Right? Add it to the refinance. You can buy an extended warranty. You can buy GAP. You can buy protection for your tires. You can buy all these benefits. They're available for people when they buy on a retail. But you can enjoy them because you're coming back to the store. They lease the vehicle for you, and we can retail it for you. And you're still going to be our client, and we're still going to be provide you with the same customer service here and in the service apartment.
And I'll tell you this: when I've bought vehicles in the past, I personally like GAP for the fact of if the vehicle is stolen, that it is covered.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but that kind of peace of mind.
Yeah. But let me tell you something. Arnold is just going to tell you something that probably you don't know about leasing. That he just goes with what you just said.
Please.
So
enlighten me.
One of the things about when you're doing a leasing is GAP's included.
It's included on the contract. It's not. There's no cost.
There's no cost.
That's awesome.
So
is the bank collateral, so they're going to protect it. So it's on their best interest for you to have GAP insurance on the contract, and it's not going to cost a dime.
Yep,
that's awesome.
And you have it for the full life of the note.
Amazing.
Now, going back to that refinance too. So I had an older gentleman. He came in from up north, and he really liked the discounts that came with the leasing on one of our Grand Cherokees because it was north 10K. It was way up there as far as like the what it was able to help out with versus like on the purchase it was very, very little. And he says, well, the things is like I drive all over the United States, I backpack, do all this stuff, but I really like this. I would love to do the lease, but I know I'm going to add like 30,000-40,000 miles in a year.
Yeah.
So going back to that, it was like, no problem, do the lease, get all the incentives, and in 30 days you can refinance it with your bank, or you can pay cash for the remaining balance.
The amount finance is going to be $10,000 cheaper or whatever the rebate is. Remember, it's still a rebate.
Yeah.
It's still a rebate, and it's coming out of the price.
Yep. So you can refinance your less served balance through the lease, and then refinance it, and you refinance your remaining balance.
And that's legal, and it's on the contract.
So it's kind of like having your cake and eating it too.
I was about to say, and also with the hybrids like 4xe, that governmental incentive, do you have to wait or do you get it up
instantly?
Front?
Yeah, if you decide to do a lease, we can apply it directly off the price of the vehicle.
Yeah.
So that $7,500 or $10,000 tax credit, what is it? It's around there or something?
It's for the hybrid models, like incentives for hybrid models from the government. So basically, like it's government help for that vehicle.
But you get it right up front.
Right up front.
So and they just take that off the actual
price of the car. Yep. So applying that plus the leasing usually has more rebate. With on top of that, you can put it all together and you can get a massive discount.
Wow.
Partnered up with it being included with GAP, you really don't have any costs to you. With your manufacturer warranties, again, you could buy it, sell it, trade it anytime.
And this is why y'all are doing so well. Now, I know we have 3 Jeep stores here in the valley here at Edinburg and the centered, and then, of course, the mothership in Weslaco, and then way out west. I always say way out west in Rio. But, and I know there's a dealer trades now in the group. Let's say if Weslaco needs more trucks, and y'all's selection here is massive. I will say that. And now that the trucks are the haulers we're getting from the manufacturers, all of our dealerships and our competition are also getting more vehicles. But also, since y'all are number one in leasing and the inventory here is turning over pretty good. Internally with Payne, I know there's some trucks that probably came from here and they ended up in Weslaco, but also their Jeeps came over here.
Yes.
Correct.
And Jeep is the hot thing.
Yep.
So where else are we pulling from?
We're trying to we recognize that not everybody does what we do, and very politely we try to find those dealerships that still have those particular vehicles that still have very nice incentives on lease. And we got 5 from our main competitor in McAllen, and they sold within 2 days.
Yeah. We sold 10 units within 2 days.
Yeah, the culture that we have, it's so advanced and it's so focused on leasing. We of course we're watching the local market because that's our market, but we're doing things that not even the metro areas are doing. Like, and San Antonio doesn't have a Jeep dealer that did 88 leases in a month. They don't.
And that's a major city in
Austin,
Texas.
well, let's keep going. Austin, no. Houston, no. Dallas has a dealership that beat us on commercial, but we beat them on retails. They actually lease more vehicles on commercial than we do. We're working on that. That's the phase 2 of our plan.
Yeah, because commercial we're really starting to expand.
Yes.
Yep.
But we find a way of doing it without harming others, actually benefiting our customers with these incentives and helping them out by educating them. It's not that they don't know what they're doing, but sometimes these options, they're not available at the time when they go and buy a vehicle because the dealership doesn't offer it. We offer it. And we like to educate you and teach you and show you so you don't have any buyer remorse. You don't have any questions about it. When you walk out here, you know exactly what you did. And that's why we decided to start looking for those particular vehicles, because we know we can help somebody that has been to 3-4 different places that his credit is not bad. It's just he made the wrong decision of buying a vehicle maybe like in 2021 or 2022 when they were sold over retail.
Yeah.
And now he's having a hard time coming with the payment, and because of his negative equity is challenging. We always offer them the option. They reduce the payment substantially. They got a very nice vehicle for what they're paying. And we got, like I told you, we start getting cars first from the group. Whatever leftover we had on 4XEs, we got rid of them. Then we got 5 from our main competitor in McAllen. Now we're getting 5. They're coming from San Antonio. We're rolling them in today from a dealer in San Antonio that has like 10 of them.
Yeah.
And they're getting all of them. They're 22s.
Yeah.
But that is the best offer. So man, we're looking for those vehicles. We want to give you the benefit. We want to help you out making a wise decision and being in a better position financially, like Arnold was saying. And that's our main goal, man, because also it's not rocket scientist, Chris. We lease a car for 3 years for a person, to a customer, to a consumer. Chances are they'll come back and get another one from us. And those 3 years we're going to see the car here for service.
Yep.
Because we're his service dealer, and we're going to take care of him like we do all the time. And that just it's a very good business culture for the Payne Auto Group. It's called retention.
Yeah, and of course buyers remorse. Okay, people go through that all the time. Unfortunately, with some things, but having that kind of confidence in both who you're buying from and yourself, like you said, if you're educating the customer, that's an added benefit right there, especially with business. And now that we're pulling from the state, this is fascinating. And of course, the valley's growing big time.
And I can just give you a little scenario real quick. Arnold comes out and talks to customers that don't understand leases. And a lot of times, the first no we got is because they don't know what a lease is.
Okay.
So we send good Arnold here that you can tell he knows what's up, right? So he goes in there, he sits down with them, and he starts talking to him. And he just says something to somebody. He sit across my office. I was hearing him what he was saying. And the guy is like, well, it's because I remember the guy I told you I'm never going to own this car. And then you tell him, well, you don't have the...
Yeah, you don't have title in your hand. You don't own the car you have now.
Yeah.
He said, hey, it's because I have this card. This is mine. And, I'm going to get this one. And it's at least I'm never going to own it. And Arnold, you said, hey, sir, well, you financed for 6 years. You only had it for 1, and you don't even have the title on your hand. So, technically, this car is not yours neither.
Yeah.
But you're it's like what we talk about. He was choosing the most expensive option to do it, Once Arnold give him all the benefits, and the best part, Chris, is when they comprehend what is it that we're trying to do. That is the goal. The goal is not to sell the lease. It's to make sure the customer understands 100% what is the lease, what is he going to get into, because now they can take advantage of the benefits. And we just mentioned to the guy, sir, you're going to drive this car 3 years, and all your 20x amount of dollars that you're upside down, by the time the lease is over, you can just turn them in, and you walk away with no debt. You zero again. You can go buy whatever you want.
Starting fresh.
Yeah, you can come back and buy another one from us, or you can go whatever you like and get a different kind of vehicle. But you're going to have zero balance. You start fresh. Now you can go and negotiate a good deal where you don't have to pay over a sticker or whatever, and be more comfortable. Or if you already figured it out, you already got the hang of leasing, come back. We'll get you another one, because we have loyalty rebates as well.
So all that other stuff that we talked about gets added on top of that.
And I dove right, like I said, the water was warm. I dove right in. Now, for everybody out there, technically, of course, a retail purchase is when you buy the vehicle outright.
Yes, it's under your name, and you pay 6 1/4 for the taxes. And because that's another thing in leasing, and we have tax credits.
That's awesome. But technically, what is a lease?
So lease, what it is, it depends on how you want to define it. Like if you do the retail purchase, it's perspective. So I've had a client, again, had a Mercedes-Benz for 5 months. I own the car. Well, technically you own 5 months of that vehicle. The other 80 months, 79 months, whatever it is, the bank owns it. Technically you did an 84-month lease because you're trying to trade it in right now. I said if you did a lease, think of it like this. In 48 months, the same 2-year span, it's either you're 25% done on that retail contract or you're 50% done on a lease within the same 2 years.
Okay.
So it depends on how you are as a consumer or as a buyer. If you pay cash, you want to keep the vehicle, then by all means, do the purchase. If you want to trade out, do this, have flexibility, move around, whatever the case may be, then the lease is a better option because, again, you can get the fancy vehicle and not pay so much for it. But that's technically what it is.
And it let's say it helps with let's say a married couple, newlyweds, 2 years later, kids start coming around. We go from the 2-door to the 4-door or
Correct.
the SUV.
Exactly.
Or if it's mom and dad with an empty nest now, they can actually downgrade.
Correct.
With a lease.
Yes.
Correct.
And let me tell you something, Chris. Another very, very easy way to explain it. You like pizza?
Yeah.
Have you ordered pizza before?
Oh, yeah.
And when you order the pizza, you pay for the whole pizza? Or?
Yeah, every slice. Yeah, all 8 slices, I believe.
Okay. Well, at least it's like just paying for the slices you're going to eat.
Oh, okay.
That
I got
makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Like you're only gonna own it for 3 years. We charge you for 3 slices.
There you go.
4 years, 4 licenses. You wanna get the whole thing? Well, then we sell it to you. But it's pretty cool. Like, and then you don't pay $10 for the pizza anymore. You only pay the 6 or like whatever the breakdown is on the slice, man. So you save money.
Buy the slice, basically. Buy the
There you
slice.
go.
I
There
got
you
you. Okay, cool. I can understand that. I've eaten a few pizzas in my time. I've had to cut down.
I'll tell them about the high type packages.
So the high type package, it has like the oversized tires, like matte out wheels and stuff like that. So it's kind of like going to a Rubicon without the price tag of a Rubicon.
It's Rubicon Light.
Yes, correct.
And it's already lifted, Chris. It already comes from factory with a 2-inch lift, which is a Mopar accessory, which means that everything that is on that Jeep under the suspension
is
covered by factory warranty. You know, it's Mopar. They put it there. They know exactly what it is. If something goes wrong with it, they can repair it. They can fix it on the warranty, depending what the severity of the repair needs to be done. But these guys, they did it right. They fly out of the shell. Right now, we don't have any.
I was about to say there was an orange high tide here.
Done. It's gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah, this particular package is called the
Recon.
Extreme Recon.
Extreme Recon.
And you can combine it. So they made Extreme Recons on a Sport. They make Extreme Recons on a High Tide. They made Extreme Recons on the Saharas as well.
Yeah.
So there's like 3-4 packages they do. But the thing is that you're buying something that you don't have to invest any dollars on it.
Yeah, because that's one of the first things people would do.
That's what your friend is buying.
Yeah.
She told me what she wanted it for, and she was asking me. She kept asking me about a Rubicon, and I'm like, okay, let me ask you a question. What are you gonna do with the car? And she, I'm gonna drive it on the beach, and I may go off-roading a little bit. Is it gonna be extreme? And she was like, no. Okay, you know what a Rubicon is? And no. So I explained her, disconnect the side arm, the suspension is there. And she's like, well, I don't need all that. So,
because Rubicon has got so many features for rock
the Rubicon
climbing.
will go anywhere, man.
Yeah,
So that's the thing when I tell you when you have good trained staff that talks to customers and we listen to her, and then like, okay, what is it that you want to do? So we figure, hey, you really don't need all this. Look, I have this package. It's already lifted, already has the tires. It's 4x4. Mm-hmm. Let me send you a picture of it. And she saw the picture like, oh my God, that's so nice. I love it. $10,000 cheaper. And she's like, well, I'm down. I like that price.
So that makes everybody smile.
So yeah, it's a very way of you can buy a Sport for like $48,000, and the high tide is like the extreme recon is like maybe 52, like $4,000 more. But you already have 35s installed, oversized tires, black matte wheels, 2-inch lift, and the tow hooks on the front bumper included, and the price only goes $4,000. The lift itself is $4,000.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's the fact of if you went off-site to anywhere else, you don't know what you're getting as far as where the part's coming from, who's installing the parts, do they guarantee it, are they warranted, and all that kind of jazz.
Yes.
One of the big things that I had a previous client, business owner, he bought a lifted truck, different brand, but it was a lifted truck and everything like that. He put his list, spent, I think what he told me, upward $15,000.
Yeah.
And they didn't tell him that they welded to the frame a lot of the components, which is frame damage.
Yeah.
So
as far as a warranty is concerned.
No. When you trade in the vehicle,
it's frame
if
damage.
You alter the frame in any way, it's got any little, how do you call them, little nuts of welding on it?
Oh yeah, like if you weld it or if you drill through it.
Yes.
They drilled the bumpers, they drilled some of the suspension stuff, however the case is.
Now his vehicle is a frame damage vehicle. It's not gonna be worth what it's supposed to be worth. And most of those shops, Chris, they don't have insurance. Yeah. They tell you they do, but at the time when you're gonna find out pretty soon when something goes wrong that they don't have it.
Yeah.
So you have the factory warranty here. It's installed at the factory. Who better than the Jeep guys that build them to do it? Yeah. They give you 3 years, 36,000 miles on warranty. Of course, if it's wear and tear, it's not going to cover. You decided to go running at the island and you bend a part of the suspension. Of course, that's not going to be covered. But anything else is gonna do. And you can come over here, knowing that we got certified technicians that know exactly what a Jeep is because they work on them every day.
And they're Jeep people too.
Yeah, they all drive it. They all drive Wranglers.
Yeah, I sit here and I look out the lot and I go, what are those out there? And they go, oh, those belong to our techs.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay.
Yes. And talking about Memorial Day, what better vehicle to resemble, American history during wars and to honor or fallen, the Jeep Wrangler.
Oh yeah.
What Jeep Wrangler Jeep stands for, right? I'm going to enlighten you because the GIs used to say that all the time. World War II is just enough essential parts.
That's right, and they used to come in a crate too.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for Jeep to bring that back. I'm just chomping at the bit.
Can you imagine? And they remember they used to make the races where they grill there was the Marines. They used to do these races where they took a part of canyon and then they jump walls and all that, put it back again. They start running. They do with that model of the Jeep, the GIs for 1945, 1944. They break him apart. They run with the part. They put him back on the other side of the wall. Then they all jump on the Jeep. You can find them on YouTube, and they all took off on the Jeep running.
Oh my God!
They break it in parts. The axle, the engine.
They're carrying it.
There's like 10 of them, and they put them across a wall, a series of obstacles.
An obstacle course.
Yes.
They're taking the parts across the obstacle course and reassembling it.
At the end, they reassembly. They crank it up. It turns on. Everybody jumps on the Jeep, and then they take off.
Drive away. Oh my God! I'm gonna look that up on here.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. But it's very, it's very exciting. Like to see these vehicles since then. Now, and we have all the art at the dealership. You can see the old Jeeps, the first ones, and it's exciting that you see that grill and you know exactly what it is.
Awesome. And that's the way it is here at Payne Edinburg Chrysler-Dodge-Jeep and Ram. And I know the clock is ticking, which means business is going on. Y'all have a training here in just a couple of minutes. Gentlemen, anything in closing you like?
Well, come and visit us. We just want to show you what we can do. We're not about to force anybody. We like to, like we said, if you haven't heard about Lease and Ride Arnold, come over and see us. We got 20 specialists plus
20. Wow.
Yeah.
Plus 4 managers. They know lease like the back of their hand. Plus my 3 finest contractors. They know leasing pretty much the same as Arnold or more than everybody else. And we have everybody available to assist you, answering every single question you may have about that. And that's assurance that we're not going to do it at our convenience. We're just going to provide you with the information so you can make a wise decision. That's it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this was about the time that Tony and Arnold had to get back to work. But I do appreciate taking the time to talk to me and the rest of you about your waiting opportunities at Payne Edinburg Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Summer is here. So for you Jeep people out there, yes, you know what I'm talking about. And if you don't have a Jeep, guess what? Tony and crew, they've got the Jeep for you. So once again, thanks to Mr. Tony Flores and also Mr. Arnold Burkholder and the rest of everybody at Payne Edinburg Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Once again, this has been Payne Auto Talk with myself, Chris Marshall, your host of the Payne Street Team, brought to you by Payne Auto Group Valley-Wide and PayneAutoGroup.com, where we have what you want, lo que tú quieras, regardless, and we are gone.